What's up, guys? I'm Robbie Rains, and welcome back to my channel. I haven't posted anything in the last couple months. That's just because I've been busy, and I haven't done anything that I thought warranted its own separate video. But I have made some progress. Like, I finished glassing the board, and I picked out a hatch material, and I've done a couple different things, just bit by bit. So I'm gonna start off this video by running you through what I have been doing the last couple months, and that'll bring you up to date to what I'm working on today and what I have been working on the last couple days. So let's get into it. And I'm just gonna get this started off by explaining the steps of glassing a surfboard. This isn't specific to e-foils, although it's the same process that you would use. So you start by laminating the board, which is what I did in the last video, and that's where you take that fiberglass cloth and you put resin over it, and you basically just drape it around the sides and get it all stuck to the board. And once it's laminated and you get both sides fully cured and all that stuff, you do like a minor job of sanding, and then you're going to apply your hot coat, or it's also called your seal coat, and that basically seals the board and gets all the bumps out of there and makes it a lot more even. And then once you've done that, you're going to go ahead and sand your hot coat, and this just makes it more even. It gets any of the imperfections you had earlier, and it seals it out and kind of smooths everything. And then your last step is your gloss coat, which is what is applied above the hot coat on both sides, and this is usually a thinner coat, and it's all epoxy, no fiberglass or anything. And once you've got both sides glossed, then you take from about 400 grit sandpaper and you wet sand all the way up to about 1,000 or 1,200 grit, and then you polish it and buff it with a big buffing wheel, and that's how you get those super shiny, nice looking boards. So that's what I'm going to be doing this first half of the video, and then later on I'm going to take us into the next step, which is finding a hatch material and building a lid for the board and making sure that's sealed and everything like that. So yeah, let's get going. Alright, so I'm finally getting here to what I think is the most exciting part of the build. All the hard work that I've put in, you're able to watch just come together, and everything's getting soldered and wired. You can see just a second ago I tested the voltage, and right now you can see I'm sitting at 44.2 volts. So I know after everything I've done, the system works, the battery has the right voltage. And now right now I'm actually testing out the motor, so I'll let you just watch that for a second.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so there we go. The motor works just as it should, which is quite a relief. And this little blue switch here is a good example of one of the things I've been working on. This is connected to my anti-spark system, which is connected to a circuit breaker. And all of this basically just makes my board safer and more reliable. And speaking of that, this water pump right here is one of the many things I was going to use, but I decided not to use just because it makes my board more complicated, and I decided I didn't really need it. Now this gray sheet I have right here sitting on top of my board is actually the material I'm going to be using for my hatch. And I decided originally I was going to go with a hinge system and a latch and all kinds of stuff, but that seemed far too complicated, and so I'm going to go with threaded inserts inside the board, which is what you can see me marking out holes for. And those threaded inserts will receive bolts that are going to go from the top of the hatch all the way into the board, and that will secure it around all the way around the board with multiple bolts, and I'll have a rubber gasket all the way around. And having multiple bolts surrounding evenly around the board should provide some sort of like uniform compression, which hopefully will decrease the likelihood of getting any water inside my board, which obviously on the water and electronics don't mix. So it's important to have a secure waterproof lid, because that's what's holding in all my expensive stuff that I've been working on for the last 2 years. Alright, I think that brings us to the end of this video. So thank you everybody for watching, and I'd say we can expect probably one more build video, just finishing up all the final touches, but we're pretty much done. We're getting very close to the end, so I'm super excited, and then we can move on to the test videos and eventually our maiden voyage. So if you made it this far, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.